Moving on, Diptyque Laurent is here with me once again to browse through the international papers this time. And Diptyque, you're starting out with some photos from those earthquakes that have hit New Zealand.
That's right. Here they are, just some photos of the debris after a powerful series of earthquakes and aftershocks hit New Zealand on Monday. The disaster triggered landslides and tsunami warnings. Now, what's interesting is also that those are the photos. You see quite some impressive ruins and debris there. What's interesting is also mobilizing in the rescue efforts is Richie McCaw, who was a former All Blacks captain. The New Zealand Herald reports that after his rugby career finished last year, he actually became a commercial helicopter pilot, and he's been flying rescue and reconnaissance missions over the Keikura region, making sure people are accounted for. He describes the aftermath, saying in one area the railway had been pushed out to sea. He also reported seeing big cracks in the road and in the hills as well.
Okay, let's move on to the US and Donald Trump, who's named some of the most important positions in his future administration.
Reince Priebus has been named Chief of Staff, and Steve Bannon will be Chief West Wing Strategist. Who is Steve Bannon? He's a pretty interesting guy. According to the website The Wrap, Bannon graduated with an MBA from Harvard. He was also an early investor in the TV show Seinfeld and was a Goldman Sachs investment banker, actually known for his conservative views. Most importantly, he was running Breitbart, which was a pro-Trump alt-right media website, very prominent during the Trump campaign. Now, we know that Trump has appointed certain members of his family to help lead the transition team. Now it turns out that his ex-wife, Ivana Trump, may also want to cash in on his newly found power. The New York Post reports that she's vying to be Trump's ambassador to the Czech Republic, citing her qualifications as knowing the language, being known there, and having written 3 books.
And Diptyque, there's lots of focus in today's press about the spillover effects from Trump's surprise win on Tuesday, especially here in France.
Especially here in France, we've seen the French far-right leader Marine Le Pen, and her party, who've taken a lot of encouragement after Trump's victory last week, and this just 6 months before the French presidential elections. She told the BBC on Sunday that if she's elected next year, she too will encourage closer diplomatic relations with Russia, and even hinted at ending economic sanctions with Moscow over the crisis in the Ukraine. That's according to the Australian paper The Age. Now, it's worth mentioning that Russia lent money to the National Front Party in 2014. Russia has also loaned money to the far-right parties in Greece, Italy, Hungary, and Austria.
Okay, from Trump to Brexit now, or more specifically, the death of the British Labour MP Jo Cox. And Diptyque, her accused murderer, stands trial this Monday.
53-year-old Thomas Nair, he's been accused of stabbing Jo Cox multiple times on June the 16th. The IB Times reports that he had a history of psychiatric issues. Her murder is believed to have been linked to her staunchly anti-Brexit stance. Now, the website Refinery29, a lifestyle blog, reports that in her honor, musicians and 25 MPs will join in a choir to record a cover of the Rolling Stones single, You Can't Always Get What You Want. Among them recording is Ricky Wilson from the Kaiser Chiefs. Ironically, this was a song used by Donald Trump during his campaign. The organizers say they want to reclaim the song in Jo Cox's honor.
In other world news, and staying with the UK, the WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will be questioned by Ecuadorian and Swedish prosecutors later today.
Well, some might say finally. This has been a long time coming. Assange has been at the Ecuadorian embassy in London for quite some years now. He'll be interviewed over allegations of sexual assault. It dates back to August 2010 when during a trip to Sweden when he was accused of sexually assaulting 2 women. Assange has always denied these claims, but Sweden did issue an international arrest warrant. It's just been really complicated so far because he is exiled or hiding out in the Ecuadorian embassy, and interviewing him up to now has been a logistical difficulty. Anyhow, now he will be interviewed. He'll be interviewed by an Ecuadorian and Swedish prosecutor.
And while he's been holed up at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, he's had some rather regular visits from one high-profile celebrity.
Pamela Anderson has been visiting Julian Assange quite regularly. She's made yet another visit to see him. She brought him some treats. There you are, some treats apparently from Pret à Manger, a French a food chain. She visited him several times and has been a huge advocate for his innocence, saying she believes he has committed no crime and is being treated unfairly. Nonetheless, as you can imagine, her visits have set the rumour mill going and raised quite a few eyebrows.
Indeed. Thanks very much, Diptyque Laurent, for that spin through the international press this Monday morning.